Alright, before I get started proper, I'll just say you're going to see some combos in this video that I guarantee you haven't seen before the day this video was recorded, and I mean they blew me away when I first saw them, and I'll give you a taste before we get started. Okay, this video is going to be about the advanced level 2 combos. I did make a video on this already, but a lot of new information has come to light, and today especially some new combos have shown up thanks to Momochi, which you just saw one of them right then. And a lot of these combos, you're going to see them and be like, oh, I don't know if I could do this in a game. And that might be true, but I guarantee you that most people can do these in training mode. Even if you are a lower level player, it just takes a bit of practice, and they're a lot of fun. But I'm going to explain in great detail every little trick and tip that I've worked out on how to do these combos. Momochi probably explains better than me how to do these because he came up with them, but I don't speak Japanese, so what I was doing was just watching his videos and looking at the frames and trying to work out how to do these combos and every little trick involved. And there's quite a few subtleties and nuances that are hard to pick up at first glance and take a bit of kind of working out. So I'm here to just explain those the best that I can. This combo, I would say, is definitely the easiest one. There's only two main things to consider when you're trying to pull off this combo. The first is the distance between you and the opponent. When you land this move, the jumping medium kick, if you're too close, for example, this will happen. That's too close if nothing happens at all. And you can be too far. Let me try and set that up for you. Maybe here. Oh, it's a bit too far. About here. See, there are multiple bounces. If they bounce multiple times on the ball before you've done anything, that means that it was too far out. Those are the first, that's the first thing you need to know. So you need to find the distance. The way I describe the right distance, and it's kind of lenient. It's not max range, but it's close to max range, alright? About there. Yeah, see? That was right. You can tell because he bounced on the ball once, alright? That's the first thing you need to know. Now if I just change my display so I can better show this. Apologies for the video quality, but this is the best way I thought about explaining these things. Alright. So you've got the right range. First, the level 2. This is very easy, this part. You level 2 as soon as possible. You don't need to do any kind of delay. You just level 2 straight away, right? Immediate level 2. As soon as you can after the OD flicker. That part's very easy. Then, okay, first bounce. Here's the second part that takes a bit of timing. You want to use medium flicker first of all, because medium flicker is more damage than light. That's why you use medium, and it's a different timing than if you use light. The trick to this is you want to hold the flicker just for a couple of frames, and it can be pretty lenient. As you can see here, this here is the startup this green bar, it starts back here and it goes over here. That is the total startup of my medium flicker. And you'll see here that it says 21 frames, right? Now the important thing to note is that, let me just go back here real quick. Medium flicker is 19 frames, as you can see there. It's 21 in the video, in the combo, because I held it for a couple of frames. See, 22, I'm holding it, that was holding for a lot. I can't give you an exact number on what you want to make this combo work, but it's around 3 or 4 frame-ish area. It can be pretty lenient. A lot of it depends on the exact distance between you and the opponent. So I mean, if you just go for, like I said, 21 frames here, this works, right? So you just slightly hold the medium flicker so it has slightly more startup, because if you do it straight away, they bounce awkwardly into the ball and they hit it too many times, as I'm sure you'll see if you practice it. And from there, everything else is auto-timed, which is great. You go heavy DP, dash heavy DP, kill rush upper, yep. The rest is all auto-timed. I'm sure you guys can just, look at that and copy it. There's no timing, you just do it as fast as you can. And that's the first combo. Okay, this is the classic kind of Momochi combo, right? You'll do this usually, if you're using it in a real match, you'll do this as like a kind of like DP punish kind of thing, or wherever you have a 10 frame punish, right? First thing you need to do is set the dummy to either counter hit or punish counter. It doesn't make a difference which, but naturally this won't work because you need the stand heavy kick into stand heavy punch. And the spacing you want for this is you want to be point blank. You want to be as close to the opponent as you possibly can be. Right? So let's have a look. Alright, this into OD. Now this is where it gets a bit tricky, but I will explain piece by piece how this works, right? So you're doing a delay from the OD snatcher to level 2. There's a delay. You're not doing level 2 straight away. You're doing a delay before you press it. And how do you time this delay? It's actually quite simple, but it takes a bit of practice. As you can see, OD pull. I want you to take note. Firstly, I do it about when, if you can see Akuma's going into the air, I do it about when I see them start to descend. See how he's reached the peak of his height here from getting pulled, and he's like just starting to like fall down. That's what I use as a visual indicator for when to level 2. But you can use whatever works for you. The important part is, firstly, the gap is right here. See these frames here, this black part here? That's how many frames the delay was, like the empty time between the OD pull, like the OD pull's recovery and the level 2. You'll see here, it's, if you count the blocks, it's about 5 frames here. And you have this weird bit here. This bit, I don't exactly know what this means because it's a bit strange, but I can tell you why it happens. And this is an important part of doing the combo. The most important part of doing this is when you do your level 2 input, you need to hold backwards, alright? It sounds weird, and I'm not exactly sure why it works, but it helps a lot with the consistency. So I'm just gonna, like, I'm holding it. You see I'm holding back? You wanna hold it like that, okay? Like, I'll do the motion without pressing the button. You wanna be holding back, right? That's how that works, and I can't tell you exactly why, but as soon as you get to this screen, like the freeze frame, you don't have to hold it anymore. Once it's locked in, you don't have to hold it anymore. And you'll know if you've done it properly because you'll get this weird extra like dead frame here. But yeah, it's about 5 frames. Sometimes you can get away with a frame or 2 off. But a good way to know if you're too slow or too fast is to look at this bar here when you do your thing, and you'll be able to easily look at it because you've got the freeze frame of the level 2 flash. If this is more, you are too late. If it's like more black frames, it was too late. If it's less or none, you were too early with your press. And that's how you can teach yourself how to get the right timing, right? So that's that timing here. And from here, you do immediate medium flicker. Unlike the last combo where we held the flicker for like a couple frames, this one you're just doing straight up, as you can see, 19 frames. You're just doing your medium flicker straight away, completely uncharged. And from there, the rest of the combo is all auto-timed. You just do everything else as quickly as you can, alright? And that's that combo. Okay, now we're on to the new Momochi combos, which are very cool. And the first thing I will show you is, as you've already seen, the big body version of this combo, which is a lot easier, but also not as good as the others. I'll show you which characters this applies to. You have to do this kind of combo on these characters, right? First one is Marissa. Not JP, believe it or not. JP, for some reason, gets hit by the normal ones. Honda, Blanca, as you've seen, and Zangief. If there's any other characters that have to do this combo, I don't know of them, but I obviously haven't tested every character. Those are the ones I tested because they're the obvious big body characters. And this combo, thankfully, quite simple compared to the other versions. So let's get that started here. Alright. First part. This is just punish counter, but you know, you can do this off any OD flicker combo, right? Any OD flicker combo will work. It doesn't matter. As long as you get into OD flicker grounded, you can do these combos. You do the full like big pop up. Now this is the part that we need to talk about, right? There is a delay between the ball, like the OD flicker ball, and when you do this heavy blitz, which it shares similar ideas that I showed for doing the other combos, right? So what you want to do, my timing personally, I see them bounce on the ball. I see them start to go up in the air. And that's when I start to do the heavy blitz. You can see here, like I showed in other combos, this is the dead time between the blitz, like the OD blitz and the heavy blitz. It looks like it's about 6 frames, maybe 6 dead frames, maybe 7, but that can kind of change depending on. Oh, I should note as well, when you do this and you're waiting that time to do the heavy blitz, stay neutral. Keep your stick, as you can see here, stay neutral here. You don't want to be moving during these dead frames. I noticed Momochi, he holds down when he does this, but as far as I can tell, it doesn't make too much difference in terms of the execution. If you want to hold down, you can do that too. Or you can hold neutral, like don't move any direction until you need to do the heavy blitz, which you want to do pretty quick so you don't change where you're standing. So you're empty for about 6-7 frames. This one, not so lenient, but the timing when you practice it and you get a good eye for like some indicators, it seems kind of practical. Like you could do it in real matches. So you're waiting that time, you get the blitz, which will hit them back into the ball. And with the big characters, it bounces them a lot earlier. They hit the ball way earlier, but only one bounce. From here, the rest of the combo is all auto-timed, which is why the big body ones are a lot easier. and you just go straight into heavy upper, kill rush, heavy upper again. Blanket bounces off that one a bit weird, but that's the general idea for this one. There probably will end up being more optimal big body combos than this, but this is just what we have for now, and it's pretty great damage for what it is. Okay, this is what I would call the easier, and it's a lot easier version of the standard combo for characters that are not big body, right? It's the same idea as the big body combo for the start. You see here, this looks more like 6, 7 frames of delay between them. So, like I said, you can hold down or you can just stay completely neutral while you are waiting to do the delayed heavy blitz here. About a 7 frame gap. As I said in other videos, look at this, you'll be able to tell, was I too, if this is bigger, like more black bars, that means you took too long. If it's less, you were too early. You know what I mean? But like I said, I see them bounce once off the ball, and then I see them start to kind of ascend off that bounce, and that's when I do the heavy blitz. That's what my personal kind of indicator. They get hit into the ball here. Now this part, there's another slight delay here. You're doing your first heavy upper is slightly delayed, and you can see the black bars here too. This is it's another 6 or 7 frame delay, but this one's a bit more lenient. The way I time this one myself is I see when they get hit back down into the ball, they hit it twice. They go 1, oops, and 2 straight away. Yeah, pretty much right after I see the second hit, I do my DP. And that usually times it well, because you want the first DP to hit them back into the ball so they only bounce once. If they bounce twice, or more, you're usually too early. So your first DP will bounce them back into the combo from here is all auto timed. You just want to do kill rush late upper here. 2 DPs and you can kill rush into them there. That's the gist of how to do this easier version. But now we're going to get into the far harder stuff. Okay, now this is, as far as I know now, this is the optimal route which Momochi has worked out. This is, I would say, quite hard without practice, and even so, I mean, I wouldn't be doing this in games yet, at least. There are 3 delayed buttons and 2 micro walks in this combo. And I should say, before I get started here, I recommend watching Momochi's clip at it, because he has a lot better execution than me. I'll post it in the description, his Twitter clip of it, because you'll be able to see the micro walks in his a lot clearly. His micro walks are a lot more clearer because he has very quick dragon punch inputs, which makes it a lot easier. But anyway, let's get started. It's the same as the other combos like this. You bounce them into the ball. You do, like I said, the delay. It's about 7 frame delay on your heavy blitz, which will knock them back into the wall. And here, your first upper, it's the same delay as the last combo. You want to delay about 7 frames, but you also want to be micro walking forward at the same time. So you want to be holding forward. I find it's good to hold forward during the blitz animation. And then just as they get hit by the second one, is my timing, you want to do a quick DP input, just do from forward, which you're already holding, go to down forward, back to forward, like the shortcut. And that'll keep you walking forward and also do the input. And you want to do this really as fast as you can while getting as good a micro walk as you can. If you're too late, the DP, like you won't really bounce them properly, you'll be able to tell. You'll miss the DP if you're too late, and if you're too early, they won't bounce properly into the wall. So from there, you do that micro walk into the first heavy upper. And off this upper, you want to do another micro walk. It's the same idea. Micro walk into the second upper. And if you do it right, so right here, you need to slightly move forward. And you micro walk into that second upper. And if you got it right, they'll bounce off it. And the rest of the combo is thankfully auto-timed. All of this, you just do it as you do it. And yeah, that's how you do that combo as far as I'm aware. There might be more like kind of nuances to it that I haven't picked up on yet. Like with the original Momochi combos, which I showed earlier in this video, I did make a video about those and talked about how to do them. But there was like, I didn't realize there was the hold back on the level 2 at that point, if that makes sense. It took me a couple of weeks to be like, oh, that makes it a bit more consistent. So I'm sure there's probably things in this combo to make it more consistent, but this is just what I've gathered from watching Momochi's videos and trying to replicate it as best as I could. Okay, that's all the combos. I mean, follow me on Twitter if you want to see more stuff like this. I posted these on Twitter when I saw them before I made this video. And I like to try to post as much new stuff as I find. And I mean, I would plan on putting this in the Outbox's Bible, and I will label it as such. But I have a definite feeling that by the time it's time to release the full Bible as like a big video, that a lot more level 2 stuff is going to be found out, or a lot more techniques to make them easier at the very least. So I'm sure I'll redo a fairly large chunk of this video, but I thought it would be just cool to put it out anyway right now.